Okay, so welcome back to the next episode of the BSQ podcast. I believe this is episode 11. I think we're episode 11.
I can't wait for that to be wrong.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be wrong. Yeah, I'll just use like a speech to text to be like 12. All right. So today we're gonna be talking about Last of Us with some people. First up, I have my lovely fiance joining for the first time. Say hi.
Hi.
Woohoo!
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind.
Yeah, we're in a live studio audience right now.
Hey, what's my fiance's name? Do you want to say?
Amanda?
Okay, there we go. All right, cool. And then I am
Thought
joined.
you were going to introduce me, but...
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Goddamn.
You could just be like, "Hi, I'm Amanda." Anyway, I am also joined by good friend Nicole,
Hi, that's me.
and then
That's what it's all about.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And then I'm joined by the one and only Josh.
Jared introduced all of us except for Amanda.
Well, yeah, because I got yelled at for
I
it. All right, so today our subject is going to be talking about The Last of Us and The Last of Us show. But I guess first, it's been a hot minute since we've actually did a podcast. The last one I did was the DC one with you, Josh.
Yeah.
So,
you guys just took a casual trip across the pond.
Yeah, so,
No biggie.
so that was pretty dope. I mean, we met Amanda. Well, okay, I met Amanda's family from Germany, and it was super cool. It's my first time out of the country. So, anything you'd like to add? Visiting your homeland?
mean, it was very fun. Jared loved the beer. Maybe
Oh,
a little too much.
oh, sorry.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think the one thing I love the most about the entire thing is Amanda's uncle is just like a character, and he's great, like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
But like
He's
so,
definitely the fun aunt and uncle. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like we'd get home from like an entire day of just like sightseeing and like visiting family and stuff, and then he'd be like, "Jared, we have beer," and I was in like, or no, sorry, he would say, "We have one beer," and I was
we
like,
drink a beer.
Yeah, we drink a beer. And I was like, sure, like I'll have a beer. It's only like 8:00. And then you fast forward like 3 hours later, like I'm like 5 shots of like Jägermeister in and like 6 beers in them. It was just like, I was just like plastered on like a Thursday night in Germany. It's great. It was a good time. Yeah, so I mean, it was my first time out of the country. Lots of good food. It was fun meeting your family, and then all of your aunts and uncles are pretty much going to be coming over in the fall.
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming here?
All of them.
All of
No.
them?
Well, it's
No.
gonna be 8 people.
No. I think it's, yeah.
8 people, right?
I think
Or
it's six.
9,
No,
maybe?
6 of them.
Well, hold on. It's rolling.
6 of them.
Who isn't coming? I thought all of your aunts and uncles, right?
That's...
Oh,
Well,
George isn't coming.
yeah.
My bad.
I can't wait for them to see how desolate and gray this place looks compared to the beautiful countryside
Yeah,
of
that was-
Germany.
Yeah.
I
Next, the beautiful Alps, and then Agawam.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
there's no castles here. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just farmland, far as I can see.
not to be a cynic, but because like I was obviously excited and everything, but I was also like, I didn't expect it to just be 1,000 times prettier than the U.S.
Yeah.
like I expected to get like some good views and stuff, but I did not like even just the grass looks so much better. Like it's ridiculous.
What do you mean? Our grass has like about 9,000 levels of toxicity in it.
Yeah, it just gets a little yellow.
Our shade of
sometimes.
green will never be matched over there.
No.
Yeah, it's the brownish hue that just ruins everything. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that was kind of the big thing. That's kind of why I took some time off, and then we've just been kind of like working around the house, working. It's kind of boring
Yep.
the past couple of weeks,
We're in a different level of the bunker.
Oh
Yeah, we're in a different room today.
Probably forever.
Across the hall.
hopefully forever. Yeah, and I mean I guess the only other thing for the weekly catch up that we all saw was we saw it separately, but we all have seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie now.
Wahoo.
We did.
And that was, I gotta say, that was pretty great. I think it was pretty good.
We can go over it in more detail at another point in time. There's just like a feeling in the back of my spine that someone wants to talk about it more in depth.
All right, actually, okay, real
We
quick.
can talk
One
about the
other.
Dungeons and Dragons one.
I actually
They haven't seen
that
it.
Well, you haven't seen it?
yet. No, I've been meaning to. I
Wow.
haven't had a shot to
No.
yet. Well, it was either like because we went out on Friday night to go see Mario, and then but like the toss up, I was like, do you want to see Mario or D&D? And we settled on Mario.
Both good choices.
Yeah, they both
Yeah.
look good.
It was either between the Bridgerton guy or like Super Mario.
And I get the Bridgerton guy. you
I know, I do too. I
Yeah.
get him.
But yeah, so I guess real quick, we could do like a longer, like a longer discussion about it at another point. 1 to 10, where do you think it falls?
I'm gonna say an 8.
I would say 8 is reasonable, but I want to say a 9.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay,
Wow.
Josh, how about you?
That's a great question. Probably an 8.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe a 7.5, more towards an 8 than a 7.
Yeah, I think I'm going on a 7. Gotta be honest, you know. It was like I feel like it didn't have the weight of like a lot of like the Pixar movies, you know, which is like fine, but like I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to be honest with you.
I can really sit here and appreciate, the amount of, care the animation took through. But like I said, don't want to talk too much about it because we know a fellow friend who.
Yeah, there's just some sort of itch on the back of my brain
Yeah,
that
Josh, you just
someone,
feel a cold breeze come through.
yeah, someone wants to talk about it.
But no, I could say it was a pretty good watch. No money was wasted. I enjoyed my time. I didn't sit here and be like, oh my god, is it over yet?
Exactly. That's the best part.
Yeah.
And when you go to a movie theater and it's not a waste of your $12
Actually, I will say
or
that
your $6 on discount Tuesdays.
Oh, true. Yeah, we need to do that at some point. That'd be fun. But also, I realized something, and I've been keeping track of all the movies that I've seen over the course of like 2023, right? And I think the Mario movie is the only one that I've actually liked.
Wow.
Oh no, sorry, Scream 6. I like Scream 6. That was solid.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Nicole did not, but I like Scream 6 a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda, I wouldn't. It's
Damn, Jared.
It's not that great.
Goddamn,
Me- me
Jared.
and Josh had
Oh,
a great
good
time.
to know.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
I wasn't really planning
That's
on seeing
how
it
it is.
anytime soon, but
all right.
Well,
Save
let's,
you the 12.
Looks like they're not part of the core
Thanks,
4.
yeah.
yeah, they're not part of the core 4, man. Charlie Jack, you guys are tapped in.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, who were you talking to, Jared?
Hmm?
Were you just talking to the wall or something?
yeah, man.
No, that's our audience for today.
the audience doesn't exist.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Here, we'll leave it at this. Fred Armisen was the worst in that movie.
I would argue Seth Rogen, but that's fair.
I would argue Cranky Kong was way worse.
Yeah, dude, I'd much rather.
You can at least see a little Seth Rogen in Donkey Kong.
I think that's the worst part. of it.
Fred Armisen's voice did not match Cranky Kong at all.
No, I don't know. It just sounded like he was just talking. Like it didn't really sound
I don't
like
even
he
know
didn't
what
put
Fred
any emotion in
Armisen
it or
normally
anything.
sounds like.
That's how I thought Chris Pratt sounded. Like it sounded like he was just reading his lines.
I mean, yeah, that's
like
too.
Chris
there
Pratt
was,
was
like-
actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I was pleasantly
mean-
surprised.
Decent. There was a couple lines where he, showed a little enthusiasm, but
Yeah.
like most of them, he was just kind of reading from a script.
Yeah, no, I kind of got that feel too from Chris Pratt, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I also liked, he did have that little accent in there, and it was, like I could hear it, so it's not like it's me, Chris Pratt. No, he actually had a little accent in there. I'm like, okay, no, I guess I was the big hater all along.
All right, so I guess if you guys want to scooch along to our primary topic of
Yes,
today,
please. Yes, please.
yes. All right, so I guess probably a good spot to start on would be, I guess, like kind of how you guys like started getting into The Last of Us and kind of like how you're aware of it. I mean,
Because I'm a gamer girl.
Living in a gamer world.
Yeah.
actually, yeah, because babe, I think were you playing it for the first time like when we kind of like first started dating?
I played before you. If that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah, I'm aware. I'm not fragile about this stuff. Yeah, I'm like
Yeah,
whatever.
it was,
that's-
it was like one of the first games I played when I got my PS4.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think? Because it was like your first like survival game, right? Survival.
No.
No? What was your
No.
first one?
I mean, I played loads of games before that.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I mean, like, Okay, I'm trying to have a conversation here.
Okay.
Jared,
Yeah, no, I'm
Played a lot
trying
of
to be like,
games.
hey, what do you think?
You're a gamer girl? Prove it. Name 5 games.
I wasn't doing that.
That's the vibe I got from that question.
yeah, Jared's over here interrogating you instead.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that-
I'm literally just like, hey, was that like your first like cinematic survival game?
No,
Yeah,
it
Fuck
wasn't.
you, nerd.
No, I played a couple other Naughty Dog games before that
Okay,
one.
All right, there we go.
So the only thing I noticed when I first played it was all of the mechanics were copy and paste from all the Naughty Dog games.
Yeah.
Like direct copy paste.
Mm.
No, I agree.
Josh, you do not look happy about that.
I'm just looking at you, bro.
Oh yeah, but you're just like that was displeasing.
I'm sorry. That's just my face.
I'm getting roasted right now. Just
Goddamn.
It's kind of getting heated in here a little bit. We haven't even started talking
Yeah,
about The Last of Us.
that unnamed beer is really getting to you.
yeah, dude. Yeah, Sam Adams really just on a half.
Oh my
Sam
god,
Adams.
dude.
What?
You're gonna have to bleep that out after.
Why do you think it's like what is it?
They,
Libel.
they don't sponsor us in the 42nd century
You're good
where
point.
we are right now.
Yeah, oh yeah. The bunker can time travel too. By the
Yeah.
way. Yeah. This is
Exactly.
stuff you're listening to. This, the machine worked.
I remember when The Last of Us was revealed as like a teaser,
Mhm.
and they actually put an Easter egg for it in Uncharted 3. So that game came out in 2011, and in the beginning, you're in a bar, and there's a newspaper on the bar talking about like the cordyceps as like a little Easter egg.
I remember
Yeah, as a little
hearing about
teaser
that.
because that was their next game after that.
I didn't notice that.
That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
little tidbit for you guys.
wait, I think you're
if
the
you-
one that showed me about that.
Yeah, if you replay the game right at the beginning, there's a newspaper on the side of a bar, and you can read it. And it's like a little snippet about Last of Us.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to revisit that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know, talking about that just makes me realize how old The Last of Us actually is. It's like, damn, it came out so long ago.
2013, right?
Yeah,
That was
Yes.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
like
Well,
damn.
yeah, I'm just. You don't gotta be so combative. I'm just like, I was confirming.
Well, Jared.
Actually,
Nerd emoji, just like.
what about you, Jared?
You kind of look like the nerd emoji
Alright.
with the
Yo!
Alright.
I didn't know this was a roast, bro.
yeah, we're not actually talking about The Last of Us right here.
But I played it on a PS3. Did
Wow.
Nicole play it on a PS3?
Did I?
I don't know. Did you?
I did. I did. Did I?
I don't know. Did you?
Fuck.
You had one.
No, that's why it's been so long.
Maybe
Did
I'm
I?
the only epic gamer here. Played it on
Maybe
its
not.
release console.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because
Wait,
I played it
no.
on the PS4. I don't know.
I think I played it on the PS4. I think that's what I did. Because I don't think I had a PS3.
What?
Or maybe I did, but
I
my
thought
si-
you did
it was
have
my-
one. You had like a weird PS3.
Yeah, but I think it was my sister took it back with her
Oh.
to her boyfriend's, and that is gone because of that. So I don't think I ever played it, and I think I played it on the PS4 after.
Yeah, Nicole had a weird PS3. The top opened.
Oh.
The top open.
The top
opened.
opened.
The top of what?
The whole
For the-
console.
Yeah, for the CD.
Like a PS2. It
A big
opened like a
thing- yeah.
PS2.
Oh.
It was weird. I've never seen it before.
It was an old PS3.
I had the fat one.
Yeah, you had the fat one.
I think I got a PS3 Slim, I think.
So you guys played the remaster.
Did we? Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we?
I think it was the remaster.
Yeah, because they remastered that
Because the
game.
graphics were much nicer than I thought they would be.
Well, also, didn't they remaster that like 3 years after it came out or something?
Well, that's because it came out basically near the end of the PS3 life cycle.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
So they might as well just give it a little
a
1080p,
little bit.
a little
yeah.
1080p texture bump.
Little razzle dazzle.
And then for PS5, they remade the graphics and textures.
Mm.
But it's like in a weird middle ground between remake and remaster because the controls and the way the story folds out, it's not really necessarily remade. But the graphics and like the character faces and the rigs and textures and yada, 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 how characters interact with the world is all remade.
Oh. How did the gameplay change? Like, is it
I
just
don't
more
think
like
it
Last of Us
changed.
2?
They probably...
Oh wait, are you talking about like that?
You can't like go prone or jump, but they probably made like the aiming a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
Are we talking about part 1 or the remaster?
Yeah, part 1.
Oh, whoopsie.
It's just yeah,
I thought we were talking about the remaster still.
same thing. Same thing. It just
no,
looks
part
better.
1 has better graphics.
That's about it though.
Just about. Yeah. Yeah. I think for me though, like like the draw is not the gameplay in the slightest. I find the kind of like Uncharted, pretty much like the Naughty Dog style of game, like the actual gameplay to be kind of boring.
There's only so much you can do with third person, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the
They
last
should have gave Joel a grappling hook.
dude. Every game would be better with a grappling hook. Okay, that's
Yeah, want to know what game has a grappling hook? Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 looks dope.
It's
I haven't-
awesome.
I haven't
You've never
played it, but it
played
looks cool. No, but it looks cool.
It's so good.
You haven't played it?
No,
What the
Jared,
hell,
with you
dude?
on that. I haven't played it.
Oh
You
my
heard
god!
about
I haven't. I'm sorry. But yeah, no. But
Oh
like,
my god!
Exact same mechanics. Other than the grappling hook, exact same
Okay,
mechanics.
okay. The
Yeah.
grappling hook is a big. That's
Yeah,
a big
run,
win.
jump,
I'm
shoot.
like ready to just stop recording the podcast and go play it. Like I have a thing for grappling hooks. It's great.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I think we need to tone down how common you use how often you actually use the grappling hook, though.
Listen, I've never played Uncharted 4, but I'm just gonna disagree with you out of just like
There's a yeah.
stubbornness.
You use it sometimes.
Yeah, it's not like you can grapple onto people and wave around.
I think
There's
I would
just-
like that
there's
more,
there's certain points where you just like swing from it. It's
Oh,
fun
okay.
though.
That's pretty dope. Yeah.
Well, so
Anyways,
for the first game though, the remastered,
Mhm.
I liked when it came out for as remastered that it came out with the DLC with it. I think that was really nice. You didn't just have to buy it separately; it already had it in the game, and yeah, the DLC was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's the one I played.
Yeah.
Like in the mall.
Yeah.
I had to buy that shit.
Loser.
I know.
Yeah, Josh was like, I was in the trenches.
I was. Yeah, I'm just like better than you.
Flush with cash.
Yeah.
You can buy my DLC. Yeah, but I mean, I think it goes to show though that like the story is like pretty good. I mean, especially for like the first game. Like I feel like the story is kind of like what made it like stand out because otherwise
yeah.
I don't think it'd be nearly as revered
Yeah.
if it was just like another like generic zombie.
I
thing,
I still go back and replay it every now and then. The show actually made me want to replay it again.
Mm.
But then I realized that I have a ever-growing backlog of games, and I need to get on that.
Same.
I've decided that I need to play a game from start to finish before I start a new one.
You're a stronger man.
Gamer.
Because sometimes when I'm playing a game, you know, in the middle of that, a new one comes out. I'm like, ooh, that looks interesting.
Yeah, you're a stronger person than me because like I got Amanda was like sleeping in just like a couple days ago, and so I went downstairs and on a whim I was like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I'll just play Spider-Man Remastered. I was like, why not? You know, I played it like 2 years ago, not even, but I was like, yeah, it's time to replay it. You know, even though I have like a billion other games that I haven't touched yet, but
You're only about half an hour into the one game I've recommended you.
What is it?
No, you did recommend Spider-Man to me like when we first started
That's
dating.
true, I did
and that
recommend
was
that
and
too.
I was like, babe, I think this might be like my favorite game of all time.
I mean,
What's the
Spider-Man.
game?
How could you not? Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
I like him.
The ghost in the background agreed.
I played the
Great
first half
game.
hour. I thought it was
It's
fun.
a great
I liked
game.
it.
It's only like a 3-hour game.
Yeah, but you know.
Jared's over here like, I got a million things to do.
I don't got time for 3-hour games.
Yeah.
Highly recommend to anybody watching
Do you think the
or
story of
listening.
do you think the story of Turnip Boy is just as deep as The Last of Us?
Of course,
It
it's,
could be.
I would say it's deeper.
You wouldn't know, Jared, since you didn't play it.
I don't know. I could tell
Played
about
a half
Turnip Boy's
hour with
resentment.
Josh.
Yeah, you know, I got like a little sampler of it. I was like, okay, I kind of get what this is about.
You don't even know. You don't even know the half of it.
Actually, I watched you play it. Yes, I do. Why do I need to play it, man? Why do I need to play it? It's like I already watched someone play it.
Jared's getting backed into a corner right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, so for The Last of Us, is story.
Yes.
Like what actually like drew you guys to it? Was it just the Joel and Ellie dynamic, or like do you think you got like hooked like right away?
So 2013, I was probably a young lad. I think I just bought anything Naughty Dog.
And because zombies are cool.
No, it wasn't even that.
No?
I think it was just I would what some would say an intellectual Jared. So I thought more, I thought more of the game than that.
Well, okay, well, then what would you say now as a young adult? Like, how would, like, you know, for the story-wise, what, you know? He's gotta
Yeah.
open his
Okay,
brain.
all right, babe. How about you?
I mean, I got into it for, I guess, a similar reason as Josh. It was a PlayStation, like one of the PlayStation hits.
Exactly.
So-
PlayStation games.
They go on
Too good.
sale so often. So I was like, you know what? $15 game, why not?
Right. Uncharted games had great stories. So Last of Us was probably same ballpark.
See, I got the game because I love horror games and I like zombie shooters like this PS2 game where I forget something Wayward. It was like these like they were like you get to like fight gargoyles and like, you know, undead, and it was a shoot 'em up type game. But, you know, playing that a lot as a kid, especially like in other horror game aspects, when I saw The Last of Us, I'm like, oh, this looks fun. This is gonna be fun. And then, playing it, I'm like, yep, this is what, draws me in. I have a panic attack every single time a clicker comes near me. It's a good game.
Josh, are you still thinking?
Are you still
You
thinking
love
about-
the idea of brew?
No, Amanda basically said what I was gonna say.
Because
It's just a good story.
Yeah,
What,
yeah,
PlayStation hits?
PlayStation hits.
Yeah.
I'm
You can't
a
go
Sony
wrong.
fanboy.
Yeah, me too. That's
There's
where I
Sony-
get my
Sony
game
exclusives is where
recommendations.
it's at. Am I right? Am I right? I fist bump the wall.
Bro, hell yeah. The Ghost agrees.
But I think, though, what's incredible for the game, though, is the fact that you can, love these two characters that you just follow with and, like, see them slowly, at first, hating each other. And then, later on you just see how much, Joel and Ellie end up, getting along and how much Joel actually cares for Ellie. And you're just kind of sitting there like, damn, this was a journey. Like, at the end of it, it was a goddamn journey. I enjoyed every minute of it.
An emotional journey.
Oh yeah, and every character you meet along the way and their stories, and you're basically just in the background, just like looking at it all. You're the fly on the wall, basically.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Also, I think the cut to black at the end
agree.
of the game is like brutal because like
There's
I
several
played it-
cuts to black.
Well, yeah, but like the final one where Ellie is like, swear to me, and then Joel's like, I swear, and then it just
Okay.
like, cuts to black. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, he said okay, and I'm like, fuck. Like,
Oh,
I was like, oh, I was like, that's tough.
Should we like give out a warning of people who haven't finished the show or finished the game or
The
anything?
the
Like,
show
spoilers?
finished a while ago.
it's been a war.
Yeah,
yeah, listen,
And
And-
also, you gotta willingly click on the podcast.
Exactly.
It doesn't
Yeah.
just pop
Our-
on.
Our
Yeah.
thousands
And if you
and
click
thousands
on-
and thousands of fans.
Exactly, and if you click on the episode title, "The Last of BS," like that's
Yo!
I'm just saying, like you know what you're in for. I've had that idea cooking for a while.
God damn.
All right, good. So we can spoil all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. In case it wasn't clear. Yes. Like this will be heavy spoilers. Also,
Spoilers
hey,
only for the first one.
yeah, only for the first one. I don't think we're gonna dive into the second.
What do you
one.
guys think about Pedro Pascal as Joel?
I love him.
Bella Ramsey?
Yeah, Bella Ramsey is Ellie. I'm so sorry.
I also love her.
They're pretty
See,
good.
now-
Yeah, they did great.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like Pedro Pascal, like fangirl, whatever. But
I am.
Nah, he's hot. I got it.
Oh, no, he's definitely he is the
It's
hot
like,
man.
I get
yes.
it. We have competition.
Hey,
Jeez.
can I ask the
But-
wall to do a favor real quick? There's the fan that's going out of the next room over. Can you please shut that off if possible? Because it's picking up a
Oh
lot
my
of noise.
god,
Got a
dude! Do you want us to
annoying
roast
fan
down
back
here?
there.
I'm just I'm picking up like a lot of white noise. That's like I could hear it through the headset, so that's why I'm like,
It's a
that
you
time of
problem.
year.
We don't have that problem.
Well, okay, so I think for Pedro Pascal though, he
Thank you.
is like a perfect. He just looks like a perfect replica of Joel, and how they got the peppery hair, and how he has kind of like the same build. He just looks like Joel just got ripped out of the game. I feel like he's so similar in so many ways about that. And for Bella Ramsey, I think she put on a really great performance on being that little cocky teenager saying "fuck you" to everyone. And she also showed like the emotion when it was needed in game, like with David and about her friend, like all of that was like she was good. Fuck the haters, dude. She's actually a good cast.
She had the
casting.
soul of Ellie.
yeah, exactly. She was great.
The soul in Ellie. There you go.
Yeah.
Also, and I'm happy to say that I saw an article where they said that they're not going to like recast her or anything for like a time jump or anything like that for the second season.
Yeah,
So like very happy to see that she'll be returning as well.
she's already
She's 19 in real
yeah,
life.
she's already
Like,
basically 20 years old.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like I just wonder how that's gonna work because she already kind of has a baby face. Because Ellie in part 2 looks very different from
Oh.
Ellie in part 1.
I would also argue the reason why she looks so different in part 2 is because she's constantly like covered in like blood, shit, and dirt. So like I think
And
I think
tattoos.
Hmm?
And tattoos.
and tattoos. Yeah, so I think they'll.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
whatever.
Like,
you can
the show was
you
so
can
well
hand
made,
wave
they'll
that.
nail it. That's fine.
You can just
Well,
hand
I
wave
also-
that
I mean,
shit.
Like-
if they were able to like make all the quote unquote zombies look good, I'm sure with a little makeup they can make her look
Yeah,
older.
100%.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's
It'll
also
work.
got she's also got to put in some work to get built because in Ellie Part 2 she was built.
They made
Yeah.
Yeah,
they made Pedro look older
yeah.
because he was playing like a 50-year-old, but he's only like in his 40s.
Yeah, I gotta say, I am really liking seeing Pedro Pascal in more things.
I
It's
thought
just,
he
like-
was like 50.
I think I'm
No,
pretty
I think he's in his
He's close.
40s.
I think he's like late 40s. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like halfway there.
What do you think of them changing the timeline?
Which portion of?
Like
So the
jumping
show-
instead of like
Yeah, so the show
2003
Yeah, the show takes place
in
Oh,
2013, right?
in our year. Takes
Or-
place in 2023.
Yeah. So the
2023,
so the
yeah.
breakout happens
Instead of
in 2013. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the breakout happens in 2013.
In the
show takes
game.
place in 2023.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
the show breakout takes place in 2003 instead of 2013.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because they didn't have like
oh, right.
Yeah.
phones and pagers
Yeah.
and all
I
this
remember
stuff.
that.
Yeah, because the game is 2013.
Mm.
The year it came out, Outbreak happens that year. Show, I guess they decided to do the same thing. Outbreak happens in 2003, but they do a 20-year time skip to make it happen, our year.
Yeah.
To
I'm cool with that,
debate the I remember early 2000s people.
I don't think
us.
they even like really leaned into that though. Like
didn't
I
really.
feel like I feel like the game originally didn't really lean into it that much. You know, like obviously you don't hear people being like, "Oh damn, I miss Twitter." You know, like yeah, it's like I don't think they would carry that.
Oh,
through
I
the
wish I
show.
could check up on my MySpace.
Yeah, man. I do think it'd be funny though if they put in like topical. Like I'm glad that they didn't, but I think it would have been funny if they put in like topical references and been like, "Oh, man, I miss Paralyzer by Finger 11. That shit was insane." You know, like,
Kinda. They made Tommy like a Desert Thunder vet,
mm.
Desert Storm or
Forgot
something.
about. Yeah, I think it was Desert Storm.
Yeah, they made him like a Desert Storm vet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did change up Tommy like a little bit.
I'm
Like,
kinda
'cause
cool
I don't
with
even
that,
think. Do we even know much of anything in the game?
Not really.
Not like-
Tommy at all.
though. I know.
Too
He's just his
much.
brother.
It's
Yeah.
his brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just his little brother.
You just know that they did some bad shit in between the games,
Mm.
and they separated. The show made them more buddies.
Yeah.
In the game, they weren't really buddies.
Yeah, no. In,
No.
in the game, Tommy is basically just like, dude, put your hands on me again. I'll fucking have my boys sick on you.
Honestly, it was like such like a powerful scene in the show though when like they're finally reunited.
Oh yeah.
No,
Like
that was
Pedro
good.
Pascal
Oh,
was
yeah.
yelling, "Tommy!" You know?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then he was crying. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
crying in that like little gift shop.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Can I just say how much I love the fact that they made Joel actually human, rather like because I know in the game. like,
men can't show weakness.
Yeah, no emotions.
Yeah, like in the game. you know,
Joel's shoulders softer.
yeah, but like you just have Joel in the game. It's just like he kills everyone, beats the shit out of everyone. Not even like no crying, no emotion really. Besides the beginning of the game, but in the show it's like he's old. He's feeling it in his
Yep.
back. He can't climb stairs like all the way up to the top. Like
I work in a shop, so you get a lot of perspective on the other spectrum. They're like, they gave Joel PTSD.
oh,
Oh
God.
no! Wait, did you actually hear that at your work? Yeah.
Yeah, of course I did. They're like, they gave Joel PTSD, and then episode 3, they're like, I stopped watching at episode 3.
Oh my god.
Actually, do you want to talk about episode 3? Do you want
yeah.
to
Sure.
jump into that? Yeah.
But yeah, because it was a good episode.
It was fantastic. It was
good
probably the
episode.
best of the series. Yeah.
exactly.
They completely changed Bill's not character, but his story.
Oh,
Yeah, the turnout of them, but for the better,
I think so.
Oh yeah. I will say I think for pretty much everything that they changed in the show, it either works like the same amount or I liked it better. So like the whole thing with Bill, who is just like this fucking crazy like schizo paranoid guy.
Yeah, it gave him
And-
more substance to his relationship with Frank.
Yeah, and then like because in the show like sorry not in the show, in the game like Frank is like hanging from the ceiling being like
And it's like, I
you,
fucking
Bill."
hated you, dude.
Yeah, and it's like and it's just like depressing, and like
Yeah.
which is also like something that I saw online was people were like, "Oh no, Bill wasn't gay
They
in the
weren't
Last
gay."
of Us game."
My-
It was like you
my
did not play
boy.
the same fucking game that
I
I,
know.
did, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You're not- yeah.
Nicole and I had such an awkward moment at her dinner table during Thanksgiving about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh, no.
this certain person that I know, basically was going on a fit about how he can't look at Nick Offerman the same way again because of what he did, and saying that they made Bill's character gay. And me and Josh
My
just looked
boy.
at him and were like,
Yeah, he was in the
he
game
was,
too.
though.
Yeah.
Were you not? Did you not get it when he said we were partners? Like
Yeah.
they were partners, bro. They were together. Not like partners in crime. They were together.
also, they weren't subtle about it in the game either.
They,
like,
yeah, it was,
like the
they literally
magazine
had a
that-
room.
yes, like
Yeah,
the
they-
magazine
Yeah.
joke with Ellie, like
yeah.
that is just like it's a playgirl with like sticky
Mu-
pages,
yeah.
like it's not,
Sticky pated, oiled up muscle men. You can find Bill's room in the church, And there's Hawaiian shirts in there.
You got something wrong with Hawaiian shirts, man?
Frank wore those shirts.
Yeah,
Did he really? Oh.
Yeah.
he wore.
I don't remember that part. But
He
That's
wore
that's how
Hawaiian shirt.
that's how he recognizes him when he's hanging from the ceiling. He's like, only fucking
I
Frank would wear
didn't- I
shirts
just
like
remember
that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't remember
Yeah.
that part. Okay.
It's like only Frank would wear a dumb shirt like that.
Fun.
Cut his body down.
Yeah.
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 I do think it's interesting that they actually this is the second time that I've seen Nick Offerman show up in a show and play a gay character.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird, but it's happened twice. You know,
think
it's kind of weird. He showed up in. Do you remember he was in that episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot about
Only
that.
only the
And he
most
made
manly, only
ducks.
manliest of men can play gay
I
characters.
respect that.
Dude, the ghost.
He was gay in Bob's. I didn't know he was in Bob's Burgers, but yeah.
The ghost in the wall.
The
says-
ghost in the wall. Let us
yeah,
know.
Ghost in the Wall really likes Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that like he's like open about it for like being in like for roles and whatnot. Like he's not that. Oh, I don't
Which
want
is-
to do stuff
The
like that.
manliest of men.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Which is like
Yeah.
whatever, dude. It's just, it is what it is.
And,
There's
like,
nothing wrong with it.
He pulled off an incredible bill. I like his bill.
Yeah.
His bill is pretty
I-
good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was
Yeah.
funny too.
Frank was good
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Frank, yeah. It's like because you don't. Well, it's like it also it's nice too, because you don't see any of Frank in the game, so it's like you don't know
Yeah.
exactly what he was like besides the last thing he wrote to Bill. So you're just like, oh, because he was probably a dick, but then again, Bill was probably also a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think just because you also like mentioned that, I think if you read like the note that Frank wrote at the end of the game to Bill, and if you look at the episode where they had that fight about like we need to make this a home, like what kind of living is this, like this is just
Yeah.
surviving.
Yep.
I think that fight, I think in the show was one outcome and the game would have been the other outcome.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
like if Bill
Mm.
didn't decide to have the friends of Joel and Tess.
Yeah, no,
That- yeah.
that's actually a really good point.
Yeah. The show also leaned more into Joel being a thing with Tess. It was also
Yeah.
hinted at in the game, but it was
Yeah.
more straightforward.
Well,
with
of course
it
you
in
don't
the
hear
show.
anybody complaining about that.
Yeah, no
No,
one
of course.
complains
Of
about
course.
that.
Of course.
But there was a lot of people that are like, I stopped watching the show after episode 3.
But it was
Yeah.
like the most beautiful episode. It actually made me like kind of
They
depressed.
No, dude, that
they
made me
left the
sad.
window open so
Especially-
the house wouldn't smell,
Especially
man.
when
That's like,
I know. Especially that little time
Yeah.
skip where he had like, I don't know, did he have cancer? Like
yeah, it was,
MS?
I think, I don't think they ever
something
said what
that
it
just
was.
stopped the function of his body.
Yeah, so it was probably MS or
I'm gonna
cancer.
assume there was no doctor for diagnosis. but-
No
I-
one they could ask.
Well, and I think the funny thing too is that people are acting like this like betrayed Bill's character who's in the game for like an hour.
I know,
mind you.
like, bro.
It's
come
also,
on.
but also like they keep the same thing. Like I was actually like laughing out loud when they're having the argument in the middle of the street when Frank is trying to like invite people over, and then it's like, well, the government is all Nazis. like, well, yeah, now.
Fucking Bill.
Yeah, it's like they did not stray away from Bill's being like psycho.
I'm so happy that they did. Yeah, and it's like he's still the same character. They just like fleshed it out and made like an actual positive gay love story for a
How
change.
could
Like,
they say that he wasn't like crazy? He literally made a bunker because he knew this was gonna happen. He was one
Yeah.
of the 2012 Doomsday Preppers.
oh, I never thought about that. That could be the
Well, he was
Like
a Doomsday
2012.
Prepper, but if it was taken in
It was
2000
2003.
Yeah, 2003.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
2003 Doomsday.
well, there was also the
Y2K.
Y2K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he probably had
Doomsday
that pre.
Peppers.
Yeah, because on his computer it was like Windows 98.
Oh.
Okay.
So even then it wasn't like Windows XP.
I mean, this is kind of like a thing though for me. It's that like in the game, I liked going through the school and like going through all the clickers and the infected, and it's like I know it's in the game and all that, but it's like I don't know if Joel and Ellie when they arrived to Bill's town or something, they maybe come across it along the way, but it's the way that they made Bill's town is just it was a small town. In the game, his town, quote unquote, was a giant giant town where he laid all these traps and everything. And it's like I don't know, seeing in the game because of how story wise is how when they first meet Bill and they go through all his traps and Joel gets stuck and Ellie has to save him and Joel has to save Ellie and that scene was was kind of like, oh my god. But I could kind of understand how they probably wouldn't be able to incorporate it in the show per se because it's it's about Bill and Frank, and I get that, but it's also when kind of wanting to have a little bit more, maybe in the next episode, if it's just Bill and Frank's episode, that's fine. But if they had like another episode, basically Joel and Ellie going through like, you know, all these clickers, all these infected, I don't know. It's just a little tidbit of for me. Like I just wish there was more of that, but
It's like more action.
more action, yeah. The best way I could say it.
Well, I think going back to the argument they had about like making this a home,
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what they did, is that like they cleaned up the town after that, remember? Like Frank painted everything, and
Yeah.
so maybe after that they kind of cleaned it all up, made it even though they were the only two there, but they made it a neighborhood.
Yeah, they made it. Yeah, they made it a neighborhood, and I like how, you know, it was their town, it was theirs, and the fact that, you know, when he got sick and he couldn't do anymore, you just saw how destroyed it was, how they couldn't keep up with it, like that moment.
But
that
Bill
was,
still watered the flowers.
yeah, Bill still watered the flowers. He tried to keep
That's
up, but he
tough.
couldn't. And I was actually kind of getting scared. What was like, what was it? The shootout with those guys, right?
Yeah, just the random raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders,
Yeah.
and you know they're going through Bill's traps, and then Bill got shot, and then, you know, we see him try to take out the bullet, and then the next scene we just see a guy in a wheelchair, and I'm sitting there like, did Bill get fucking paralyzed?
I actually, that's exactly what I thought happened at first too. Like until they like pulled back to show that it was Frank.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
Oh man, yeah, such a great episode. Like that's one of like the best episodes of television I've seen in like a long time. You know,
How did you guys feel about them devoting an entire episode to them, though?
I think it was needed.
I think it was fine.
Because in the game, you know, yeah, you have Bill and Frank's character, whatever, but it gave them the best ending that they could have.
A lot of people would probably see it as like a filler episode.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
But it's a good
But
drive
choice.
the
I
story
think-
forward.
I
But
think it's showing the last of us,
yes.
you know, last of
Yes.
our
Yeah.
humanity.
It can't be misery,
Um,
misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not just about the infected. It's not just about the Raiders and all this stuff. It's about the last of our humanity. And it showed them like how even though they're isolated from the world, like what they do with it. And you know,
Yes.
the last of
Well
us.
said.
well, and I think as a guy who deals with who like watches like a lot of like adaptations, whether it's like games or comics or like anything like that, like I feel like a good adaptation should try to give you like more than just like the source material, right? So like, and even if they need to change some things, like I'm never opposed to it. Like they
Yeah.
changed like a small handful of things, but I think like they handled everything like really well and like can like stay true to the game, you know. So like, but like honestly, if they just did like, again, because it's about 8 hours of television, if they just did like the entire first game like note for note, I'd be kind of bored, to be honest with you. Like I'm sure it'd
Yeah.
be cool to get like, you know, like babe, your parents watched it, right? And then they asked us when season 2, you know. It's like for
Yeah.
people like that, you know, like it's probably
They
like,
have
really
not played
cool.
the game
They-
for,
Oh,
for
yeah,
context.
exactly, yeah, exactly, yes. Your parents have not played
Your
the game.
parents watched it too, right?
I believe my mom did, yeah. And, you know, I told her that it's a great game. She would actually like the show because it's, you know, if she would like it. She did. She loved it. And I feel like the show in itself is great for people that, you know, can't play the game or don't want to play the game. It's for them also too. You know, it's for people that have never seen The Last of Us in a game wise. And I totally agree with you, Jared, how when they they do stuff completely different and it still worked. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like it failed. It still worked.
Yeah. What did you guys think about them changing how the cordyceps work? So it's no longer like an airborne
I
thing.
think it makes more sense, honestly.
It's more transferred through infected to infected instead of being
Yeah,
like an
like the
airborne
tendrils.
pollen.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that's how parasites can also work in ways
That's how
too.
like
yeah.
fungus normally.
Yeah. There's also
It
there's a
works.
conspiracy for that because a lot of like shows and movies are like actors got to always show their face. So if they're wearing gas masks
Yeah.
like half the
Well,
show.
But also, like, if it really did spread through spores, you wouldn't only put your mask on when you see spores. You would
Mhm.
keep it on constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it just
It's
makes
like,
more sense.
How far does it go in the air till it, like, you know, dies and dissipates, you know, the spore?
Yeah.
Because it's like then the whole world would be fucked regardless because the spores would be everywhere.
Yeah, like you would just never take your mask off.
Yeah. I think in a concept it's creepy, you know,
Mhm.
because you're limited to how much you can take for spores. And that is another thing too is that they got rid of the spores, so a lot of to be honest, I don't even know if they're even going to bother with any more infected. A lot of the some of the infected release out spores when they die. Like what was it? In the second one, you know, they explode and spores
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
the big bad. Forgot what was it?
The
Bloater?
Rat King.
Oh, there's the Rat King, yeah.
Oh.
But the bloater, you know, he
Yes.
released out spores with his little spore pockets.
His little spore bombs.
Spore bombs. Yeah, they have to change a lot of the infected then if they're getting rid of spores entirely, because a lot of the infected relied on spores to release out the infection.
Yeah, I mean, I think that works better in the context of the game, you know? And it's like, I was worried at first because I saw like this like article that came out before the release of the show that said, you know, they're not doing spores in the Last of Us HBO show.
Yep.
Right? And immediately I'm like, I really liked the tension that gave with like Ellie not needing to wear like a gas mask, right?
Yeah, because
But,
that's
like,
that's
like,
kind of
they-
how Joel found out that she wasn't lying, because they fall into the
Yeah.
subway and she's not wearing a mask.
Right.
Mhm.
But then again, like I'm also still like completely okay with how they handled it because I didn't feel like they did a good job of like whenever they were on the road, I felt like they were like kind of like perpetually in danger. So like I think they did a really
Yeah.
solid job of that regardless.
Can we also talk about Tess's final moment?
It's a little awkward.
Yeah,
That was
I-
weird. That was weird.
I-
It's a little
Yeah.
awkward.
I don't
And-
know.
was
Well,
kinda
while we're on
weird.
the topic of spreading,
She just let this infected make out with her.
So,
I think it was
so
Oh, here we go.
yeah, no. What's
the
take?
infected don't want to kill people. Like violence is just they want to. Their whole goal is to spread
Yeah.
the infection. So if they're killing people, that's not spreading an infection. But since she had the infection inside of her already for maybe an hour, it
She
might
kind
have
of-
already been taking over her brain.
That
So
makes
the
sense, actually.
infected
Mm.
probably
Ah.
sensed that in her, and because she accepted it willingly, that's why
Mhm.
it didn't kill her.
It didn't make her just drop the lighter
Yeah.
or pull a pin on a grenade right away.
Yeah, then she had some subconscious feeling that when she does drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I did I watched a video of some guy talking about how in most cases in some infected they still have that subconscious
Yeah.
human emotion.
Are you really all gone, bruh?
Yeah, like they're not full. They're still thinking.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
terrifying.
they're conscious, but they can't control their own actions.
yeah, like that's why
Yeah.
it's like when what was it, in the beginning of the game when you see these infected eating a guy, one of them's crying. Like you hear them
Yeah.
crying because it's them actually cry that they're eating this person that they probably knew, but they can't control themselves at this point. Their motor functions are basically gone.
Shit.
Actually, just to kind of like go back a little bit and talk about the infected, I think the way that they handled like the initial outbreak was probably better than the game, to be honest with you.
It
Like
was
how they
yeah.
how they kept
With, like the old lady.
yeah, they kept having
the
that
kid
red
in-
herring with
Yeah.
the old lady, and I was like, because like
the kid in
there's-
school.
Yeah, the kid in school
Yeah.
too, but like especially with the old lady, they have this one shot like in the afternoon where, and again, like she's like pretty much dead already, to be honest with you. But like,
Yeah.
and then like you just see like her mouth start to open, and I was like, oh shit, they're doing like the breakout, like you know, like in the like during the daytime, and that's like a false flag almost, and
Yep.
then like finally like later, like
God,
you
yeah,
know,
those creepy
Oh,
when
so
you see in the background her mouth just open.
it was
Yeah.
terrifying. Yeah, I was like, damn, they're leaning to the horror elements, you know,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
great.
just looking at me and Josh watching, like, what the fuck is happening over there? It's just all blurry to see.
I think Sarah's death was just as good as it was in the game.
Oh, I got.
I think it was better because you actually
think it
got to
was better?
like know her a little bit.
Yeah, you
more.
got to know her a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah, I gotta say, people prepped me before I played The Last of Us for the first time.
Not
about
a
Sarah's
single
death.
tear was shed.
No, and I was
wasn't
like, dude, I've known this girl for like half an hour. Like, it's like, I'm sorry, but like, I am not that
Yeah.
like scared.
Oh,
like, I'm
You're
not.
just heartless.
I don't think so. Like, I don't.
I'm a big
no.
baby bitch. I cried.
You
I don't-
cried?
Yeah.
I
You and Jared probably were like,
yeah, I was like,
she
I don't
was-
feel,
she
I didn't
was-
feel invested with Sarah in the like in the game, but in the show they gave her like an entire hour, you know, which I thought was like much better.
I thought it was
Yeah, it was
sad.
like needed. Like
Yeah.
if you want to feel bad for a character, you need to connect with the character 1st.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
you kind of have to introduce her and like show her a little bit more.
Yeah, like that's why like when you have these like horror movies, let's say, and they have like 10, 5, 7 people, and then all these people suddenly start dying left to right, you're not gonna feel sad for them because it's
Yeah.
like there's so many people to go by to like have limited amount of time with them. So especially in the show, when you see Sarah, it's like an hour, and it's like you feel, that sucks. Sorry, Joel.
Can I tell you guys something super heartbreaking? I don't know if you've realized.
Oh boy.
Outbreak Day was Joel's birthday and
Yeah.
the day Sarah died.
fuck.
So
Oh,
every
yeah.
time Joel has had a birthday
Mm.
since then, it has probably been devastating for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
God, yeah. When they
And then even yeah, I really liked that little bit of character they gave to even just like the scar on his head. where how the entire
Yeah.
show he's telling Ellie that like, oh, someone shot me and missed, and then it turns out that like he tried
was
to kill
him.
himself, and I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, man. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, it's
because
tough.
they made Joel an actual person. They didn't just.
Yeah,
make
he's
him
not
a
some
hard
macho
Southern
killing
guy.
machine that every fucking gamer wants him to be.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I would definitely see any man being like that when it's like you just lost the most precious thing in your life, and then you have to live with that guilt for the rest of your life, and it's like, damn, dude, like that was actually kind of sad, especially. And then talking to Ellie about it, how he said it was him, and then what did he say to Ellie? What it's like it wasn't time that healed. And he looked
Yeah.
at her.
he
was
looked
you.
at her.
It was you.
No!
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and I think they gave Joel and Ellie more like character moments like in the show. I feel so like I felt like part of the reason like why I'm so kind of like meh on like the Last of Us game is because I feel like like the writing's great, but like I feel like there's not enough of it. But then like I feel like the show like really just put a focus on like their relationship, and I was like, great, I'm sold now. I think it's
I think that's just what you get for cutting out all the action. You get more
Yeah.
time on the characters.
and I'm okay
Well,
with that.
the
'cause,
last
like,
of us, the last of our humanity, the last of the people.
you tell him she's spitting.
Yeah, it's the name.
Drop that mic.
I'm gonna get fucking crucified or something about this, but it's, I don't know.
Hey, we've argued about this, haven't we?
Yeah, we all yelled at each other. Well, you both yelled at me at the parking lot.
Yell. I'll raise my voice and just think you're wrong. I don't know.
You slightly raised your voice like you were fucking wrong, Nicole. But I don't know. For me, how I like The Last of Us in general is the fact that, yeah, you get to kill infected, but it's like, well, that's the game. It's different. They can't just like, do that in the show. And it's like, yeah, I get bad people bad to show that, but it's like I also kind of just wanted to show more of like reason why humanity's kind of fallen to how it was, like the actual danger that's out there, not just the people but the infected, see them more, or it's like them running into them more, because I feel like they just kind of cruised on by with like maybe some people shooting at them, and that's it. And it's like I kind of just wanted to see the real danger, and the real danger was the clickers, like the infected,
Jared's about to
I
say
don't know,
something.
man.
I'm gonna
Jared's
say-
about to-
I'm gonna
I
say-
just
told you I'm gonna get crucified about this, but hey, it's
maybe because I'm looking at this from like perspective of a woman, but I would not feel safe in that world if there was like no society,
like,
really.
yeah, no, for sure.
Like
about that.
I would be dead in a day.
Me too. Yeah.
Like
I do
I don't know,
appreciate
like-
in the show that they showed actual things that like Ellie would need as a woman growing up.
the diva cup.
The DVD,
Yeah, the
that was
cup.
funny.
I know
I
that
was
answered so many questions for me.
like-
And then I think she grab like a box of tampons and stuff.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the like gas station
Yeah.
bus stop area.
Yeah, because
They don't really bring that up in the game. It's just kind
They
of
don't bring
assumed
that up in a
Yeah.
they're
lot
taken
of
care
They
of.
don't bring that up in
shows.
anything.
Yeah, no, it's like
Yeah.
if you're sitting there like,
What about women? What about the other half of the population?
But no,
what
no,
are
the
they
gamer
doing?
boys are gonna
Yeah,
be like,
gamer boys
"Hey, what
like
the
zombies,
hell, bro?"
I don't want to learn about this.
So Nicole, kind of as like a counterpoint to you, this might be a hot take, I don't know. When it comes to like zombie stories, whether it's like The Walking Dead or The Last of Us or anything else like that, like the zombies are generally the least interesting part of that.
Well,
Like
see,
it-
but The Walking Dead though, it's different because they're just so over time they're dangerous. Well, I mean, over time they're less dangerous. In the beginning, yeah, it's everyone's freaking out because these undead are coming back and eating people, and no one really knows how to stop them because it keeps multiplying. More people get sick, and then over time you see in the show that there'll literally be walkers in the distance, and then you have the group, and they just kind of look over and they're like, "Oh, it's walkers over there."
And you can say the
Well,
same
and-
thing for Last of Us.
well,
Yeah.
but
In the
if
game,
they're
they kind of
called
just
runners.
stay. They kind of
Yeah,
just
they're
stay.
runners.
They kind of just stay in their
Stalkers.
areas and not really do anything.
yeah.
They're
Well,
more of a vehicle
but-
for
But
gameplay.
that's,
Yeah, exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like they're so much more dangerous than walkers, though.
But,
That's different.
Like Amanda said, they're not out to just kill people.
So are we comparing
That's why they were just
now...
sunbathing in the
you know
sun
what?
in the
That's actually
show.
a good point. Now,
Wait,
The-
are
you said.
we talking about what's worse, infected in Last of Us or like the walkers in
I'm just
Walking
putting
Dead,
it-
or are we talking about
well,
infected
well, yeah.
versus like people?
Nicole's arguing for the show. Why didn't they show more infected?
I mean, I think they
Basically.
showed quite. Yeah, they could have showed like a little bit more.
a little bit more.
I think.
That's all I'm just saying. Is
But-
that it's a little bit more because it's like, yeah, I get the fact that it was like they don't want to kill people, but when what was it? with
That OC woman.
Yeah,
They
that
showed how
OC
dangerous they could be with that when they erupted from the earth.
but
Yeah.
the OC woman, like, you know, they kill people there. They were literally tearing people apart, especially the big bloater. It's like, you know, it's not.
That was so cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Dope.
Tommy's
But
voice
that's why I
actor.
wanted to
That
see
was
more
Tommy's
of that
voice
stuff.
actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they snuck
Oh.
in a lot of Last of Us voice
Yeah.
actors.
So
Yeah.
so-
Tommy was whatever OC woman's right hand man.
Oh,
voice
I
actor
didn't know
for
that.
Tommy,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Marlene
he was
Marlene.
Yeah, Marlene was Marlene.
Yeah.
And then-
But the guy with the big gray beard and the swept
That was
back
Tommy's
hair,
voice actor?
that was Tommy.
Oh,
Yeah.
He kind of
Um,
looks like Tommy. Damn.
No,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
Tommy the game. Yeah.
Yeah. we talked
and
about
then-
this when we watched it.
Well, no, I remember us talking about like when Troy Baker showed up.
yeah, Troy Baker,
Troy Baker was
Yeah,
yeah,
and he was like one
Joel.
of David's guys, which was great.
David's guys. I forgot his name, but he got to get the machete kill.
It's awesome,
on
dude.
his
Dude,
neck.
I would love to be on like some kind of show.
And
where,
then
like, my
Ashley
job is
Johnson
killing.
got to play her own character's mother.
That's kind of cool. Who
It's
just
cool.
Who just did that
And-
recently? Oh, Charles. No, Charles Martinet didn't do that in Mario. Who didn't?
No, he did.
Oh, he did.
He played Mario's dad.
Oh,
he
yeah,
did.
yeah. See,
And-
Mario's dad
and Giuseppe.
And Giuseppe. Yahoo! All right,
And
all right.
Laura Bailey was
Was
one
the
of the,
random nurse.
was one of the random nurses.
Oh, I didn't know about
Yeah.
the
Oh,
nurse.
I did not see
Yeah.
Laura
Yeah, she
Bailey.
was in the
She
credits.
she was
as
wearing a
Nurse
mask.
One.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was all covered up, so you couldn't tell. But if you look in the credits, she was credited as Nurse One. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god!
Oh.
Yeah, so they all basically got a little part in the show, which I
Yeah.
thought was nice.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they made the game, dude. They made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to on my rant though, but but no, it's like I mean I agree with Infected and whatnot, and how it is The Last of Us, so it's all about the humanity and whatnot. But it's like, you know, come on, man, I want to see some cool clicker kills and some cool. That's my clicker impression is.
Here's can I at least tell you why I think that they kind of strayed away from that a little bit?
Yes.
Is because you can't really make zombies villains, right? Like, you know, you take a look at like this mindless horde can't really be that intimidating of a villain, especially once you figured out that you can like because I feel like it almost cheapens it, you know,
'Cause
like
there's no humanity behind it.
yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
oh, it's like if you have to kill like a rabid animal coming at you.
Yeah.
Like you feel bad, but like at the end of the day, like it's
Well,
gotta,
That's probably why the first game and the second game, towards the middle and the end, kind of veer more towards human enemies
Yeah.
yeah.
as opposed to infected.
I just also wanted to also see the fact that, you know, how kind of creepy this, you know, infection was, like, because when we were talking about how it takes over your body and whatnot, just kind of like seeing like how some of the runners are like still kind of people in a way.
Yeah.
But I know that because it's the parasite is a community in itself, that they're not gonna show that. But
I guess they kind of,
I mean, they
because in
kinda
the episode
are.
where they're going to the Capitol building, I don't know, in
Yeah.
Boston,
Capitol
the Boston, the
yeah,
one
the
with the
Boston
big,
Capitol
Yes.
building. Yeah.
where they're all just like sunbathing in the sun.
Yeah, they
and
flip
then
over.
and then if anywhere in the city, if you just step on the wrong stem, they'll all just come fucking rushing at you.
I really liked that.
I wish they
change. That
did
was-
lean into that a little bit more because I
Mhm.
feel they showed it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
because like
All the budget went into that.
yeah.
because like you only see like them for like a bit, but in the beginning it's a thing though, is that they all kept talking about like, oh, look at what's going on, these parasites, and the next thing you know is like they're gone. You only see
Yeah.
like a few of them. The only big danger we saw was bloater and the underground, how they all rose up. That's the only danger we saw, and then the beginning, and then throughout the whole rest of the time, it's like you don't really hear about them. They don't really talk about them besides Ellie, you know, being infected, and then they have Henry and Sam and their infection, and then
They do that in the games too, because by the time part 2 happens, like there's 2 walled off communities, and they clearly don't really care that much about infected anymore.
yeah, basically that's how.
Like they'll do like
Like,
watches.
like I said, The Walking Dead, how in the beginning they were so dangerous, and then later on in the couple seasons they're like, whatever, we're just living at this point. But that's all I'm just trying to say. That's it.
I will say I do think that I think it's interesting though because when it, not to jump into like spoiler territory for Last of Us 2, but near the midway point of the game when you fight the Rat King, I'm not going to
Dude, I love
I'm not going to
King.
explain that, you know, like too much,
cool.
but like super cool, and I think it's really cool to see what happens when like humans don't clear out the infection, Because like the Rat King
Yeah.
is like 30 years or whatever,
Yeah.
like worth of like
Yeah.
infection
Like
from
day one,
building up.
just
Yeah.
sitting there in the
Yeah,
bottom
Yeah,
of the
and I'm like,
hospital.
that's so fucking
That's how
cool.
the bloater is too. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just build up infection. And so it's like I want to see like kind of more of that. Like, well, it's gonna be over time, and I want to see the Rat King. I want to see what are those giant, massive acid spore creature things
yeah, I
in
don't
part
remember.
2. They're just it's like the bloaters, but they have like hunches. I forgot. the
Yeah,
name.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
But-
imagine boomers from Left 4 Dead. They blow up when you kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. Like I want to see what happens over time for like these people once were people, now these grotesque monsters basically.
What do you think of the change to Henry and Sam?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good.
You thought it was pretty good?
That was pretty good.
I mean, heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, like it was.
sad.
I think they
Made me
like,
cry both times.
Yeah.
They hit all the same plot points.
I think
you know,
it was
better.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. For me, I thought it was a little bit better in the game. I don't know why. Just Henry's death in the game, I don't know, came off a little bit better than in
Yeah.
the show.
How so?
Oh,
I don't
no,
know,
I
just
agree
like
with
the
that.
camera angles and the cut,
Oh,
the
yeah.
abrupt cut.
Okay, sorry, I always forget which one's Henry, which one's Sam. Is Sam the younger
Sam's the
brother?
kid.
Sam's
Yeah.
the kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I also have to.
I
Agree
actually
with
kind
that
of
too.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Like it was, I felt like there was more build up and more suspense in the
Yeah.
game, but in the show it was just kind of like, it was very quick.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Like, yeah.
I will say though, I was like ready to just like break out crying when Ellie left the note on Sam's
Oh
grave
my
that just
God,
said,
yeah.
"I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh.
"Is that just sketch thing?"
It's-
I'm like,
That was a
"Oh
tough
my
one.
god!" It
And
was
she
so bad.
and did you notice she tied the pen so no one could write over it?
Yeah, the one part that I agree with Nicole where there could have been another scene with infected was
Oh, it's
the tunnels with Ish.
Ish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
That would have been scary.
Yeah,
or it's like
because Henry kept talking about how we didn't clear out that part,
yeah, there's
and
nothing.
then they go underground and it's cleared out.
And-
Yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of wish there was at least like a couple like because in the game there is that whole portion where you're like clearing the
That
tunnels
because
and
that
stuff.
entire part got infected because someone didn't lock the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it was,
It was like a simple mistake that ended up costing the lives
will-
of everyone down there.
I think it did, like, for the audience that played the game, I think it kept suspense high because, like, we all were expecting it.
Subvert expectations.
I mean, I
they
also
did,
wanted
they
the
did that a lot
shock
throughout
value.
the show though too.
I wanted the shock value a little bit. They didn't show the bodies of the kids, did they?
No, there was just no one
Not
down
really.
there.
There was like no
No.
one down there. That's what kind of like because
Mm.
through when you're going through the tunnel system,
Yeah.
you see the story of how it was a society being built underground and how Ish and seeing all these kids, and then you hear about no one locking the door. Then you go inside this room where there's this guy with all these kids, and then
Yeah.
that's the shock value of like, oh fuck, all right. And I mean, because a lot in the whole game, you see a lot of that shock value when you see these people like the couple in the bathtub in that hotel room, and they're like all decayed and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like I kind of wish they had some of that, but when you just go in the tunnels, like that there was people down there, there were kids down there, but they're not there anymore. It's like, well, did they move or did they die? You don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nicole. I might need to push back on this one too.
Oh no, go ahead.
I think like when The Last of Us' story, at least for me personally, I don't really view it as like a horror story. I view it more as like a human story, as
Yeah, it's
pretentious
just-
as that sounds.
That's-
So
that's-
like like if I'm watching like a slasher flick, like whatever, bring on the dead kids, Like,
Kill them kids, bro.
yeah, I'm like
The
let's
damn
go.
kids.
Like let's do Halloween. It's great, but no, like I don't know. I feel like it almost like wouldn't have fit with like the rest of the tone of the show. If like all of a sudden, because like they've built up to like kind of like how dangerous the clickers are. And like we've had a few scenes with them at that point. And I'm
Yeah,
like I don't know. I feel like just a room full of dead kids would have
I
been
mean,
kind of.
it's
I mean,
a
they
yes
did-
and
kind of
no.
unnecessary.
They did kind of show it, like, when Ellie was in, like, that, I think it was, like, an SUV, and she was,
Yeah,
like,
there was
running
a
away, and there was, like, a
infected
child, like,
Oh,
climbing over the
shit, yeah.
seats.
Oh,
Um,
and yeah, they also
That was one thing the game didn't do.
They
That
also
was
had,
Infected
cool.
kids.
yeah, they had that baby.
Or, like, the minivan, whatever
They
it
had
was.
that like
Yeah.
the dead carcass of that baby and the mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they did have the shock value to it a little bit. Yeah, no, you're right.
And
I
they
forgot
they
about
did
those.
show it, like, a little bit when Joel and Ellie were walking down the road and they passed by, like, where they burned all the bodies.
Yeah.
Like, there were some, you
Yeah,
could
this is-
tell they were
No, you're
kids,
right.
babies,
I
like,
totally forgot about all of that. You're right. Holy crap. No.
Look
Nice
at
job,
that.
babe. Good call.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
good
Good
job with
Yeah.
that look.
Yeah.
See, real fan right over here.
yeah.
Big fan. But
Yeah.
I want to also say, go on with the Henry thing too. About I liked how the game is, they so it's two different sides. Henry in the game, he is like, going nuts because he just killed his brother, and he's like freaking out, and it's a lot of process in his mind. So in the game, he is literally about to either shoot Joel or Ellie or whoever, and when he says your fault, he's talking about himself, and then he kills himself afterwards because he finally realizes I did this. In the show, he's more just kind of sitting there like in shock of like, I just killed my brother, and then he's slowly starting to hit him of like all the emotion and whatnot, and it's a slow build up until he finally kills himself. Did they cut the black in the show like how they did in the game?
They did.
Did
I
they?
think.
Yeah, it was kind of like a.
But instead of it being like a multiple month time skip, it just cut to them outside.
Yeah, like
burying
an
him.
hour later, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those moments too. Yeah, when they cut the black on those scenes of like tragedy, yeah, that hits hard.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think so. I think like in the show, they like Pedro Pascal did a great job in that scene where he's like, put down the gun.
Yeah.
He's like begging him basically. Like I think that was really good. But also like, again, this is gonna sound macabre, but like they don't actually show him shooting himself.
No, you just hear it.
Yeah,
I
which
don't
is-
think
you
need
see
to, though.
Joel's reaction.
You don't
don't
need
need
to
to
see
see
it.
I think it would have sold it more.
No, you
though.
don't need to see it.
Yeah,
I think it worked really good in the
Ellie's-
game.
You
You don't
like
see it.
Well, 'cause
it's
I
you
thought you
know
saw it
what
in the
he
game.
did. Like you don't need to see it.
And then it cuts to black, and you just hear Ellie just say like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah,
Just got shiver down my spine.
the show, did they show it? I don't really remember. Did they not show it?
In the
They-
show, they don't.
They don't. In
No,
the
they
game,
don't.
they don't.
It's Pedro Pascal's view.
Yeah.
So it's like a
Yeah.
shot on him.
Yeah, because all I remember is hearing Ellie scream about that. Like that's also why it's like I was actually kind of also impactful. Just Ellie screaming that she just saw someone die like that.
If we
Mm-hmm.
want to move forward a bit,
Yes.
I thought the David arc was done pretty well, except for the ending.
Yep.
You didn't like the ending?
No.
I think it was weird that Joel just met Ellie outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he just walked over, just met
yeah.
her
Like
outside.
he was like there
Like
already.
that whole emotional moment of her like killing David and then him rushing in and holding her and like reassuring that it's him and it's fine, was just gone. They just met her outside. He just met her outside
Yeah, that's true.
after
right?
she already did it.
Yeah, if he just ran into the building, I think that would have been. Yeah,
Yeah,
good point.
it's-
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, because they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, because
The
Yeah.
building was on fire.
he's trying to find Ellie and this building's on fire. It's
He's just
prob-
hanging out
probably Ellie
outside.
Yeah. But also, like, if I was him and I saw a building on fire, I don't know if I would assume she's in it. Like, I
mean,
would assume she got out.
If you know Ellie at that point, he probably would have assumed Ellie caused that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I would definitely assume she caused it, but that she's still inside.
Well,
Like,
I don't think we really know how he got inside in the game either. He just kind of
I think he
Yeah,
probably
he was
busted the door down. He's
just
big
busted
macho
the door
Joe.
down. But yeah, I think it was just done better in the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everything else was fine. Like making David some religious nut was fine.
yeah.
Dude, in the fact that like I think they actually made him like a little bit more threatening than he was in the game too.
Yeah, he's
But,
done
like,
more.
like him turning out to be a let's say a creepazoid.
Yeah.
And then like turning out that like he was like a teacher like before the fall, like before the
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
apocalypse. I was like, damn, like that kind of sold like
Like, I teach elementary school kids.
And
And
you're
Yeah, I'm like,
oh,
oh
no.
boy, okay. Yeah, no, I think it was really cool how they made.
he's like, I'm your daddy now.
Yeah, like oh dude, that scene where he like
They're
he's-
literally eating
he slapped
that
the
girl's
girl.
dad.
Yeah, he slapped the
he's like,
girl, and then he just
Yeah.
sat down right next to her like nothing happened. It's
Oh,
like
no.
Also, I'm surprised that the cooks didn't say anything because they were like, "Oh, where'd you get this meat from?" And it was
They-
obviously like the human meat,
I-
but they were
some
like,
of the-
"Oh, we got a deer,"
yeah,
and then
some-
like they dragged the deer in.
Some of them knew, and then others were probably just like, we have to do this to live, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole pointed out a good detail where David's plate was bigger than everyone else's.
It was, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because he's the king of that little. He's the god.
Yeah.
For
Everyone
that.
else had little bowls, and he had a full plate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and everyone like he was still eating, and everyone else basically chowed down. They had nothing left.
Yeah,
and
they were
it's
all like malnourished. Like,
yeah.
Mm.
David was the only one that was better off because he was the leader. And it's like, how
Yeah.
did you just even really elect this guy as a leader?
They made
honestly?
Troy Baker's character kind of more of a character. You kind of question David's authority
yeah, that's
instead
why.
of just being a right hand man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when like his like all the I'm gonna say henchmen
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they caught Ellie and they were gonna shoot her, I think that was a mercy kill. That wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna kill you because I
100%.
fucking hate you. It was like,
Yeah.
I know what he's gonna do to you.
Yeah,
like
I
I
don't-
know
Yeah.
how this is gonna end,
They
and
probably
like
wanted
death
to
is the
kill-
better option.
Yeah, they wanted to kill Ellie for mercy, but I think they also wanted to just get revenge from Joel because
It's probably a bit of both.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't have assumed Ellie would have done anything, but a big grown man, they probably been like, oh, this bastard killed our guys. So it's like, yeah, but technically it was both of them that killed your guys.
Yeah.
But it was one dude, wasn't it? It wasn't multiple people, it was just one guy that they killed at the university, was it? In the show?
Yeah,
it was a
the
couple.
university thing was also a little rushed.
Yeah, I didn't like
It was just like a
Yeah.
one little scuffle outside
See,
instead
It
of
was
Joel
like
falling
one
on a
building,
rebar.
like yeah.
Ellie guiding him outside and shooting those guys as he's like
Yeah,
trying to walk
that's-
outside. It
that
was just,
would have been
just
a
I
good
got
scene.
stabbed by a baseball knife outside.
See, that's why
Hate it when it happens.
when it comes to certain things,
I right,
that's why I
Walt?
wish that they didn't change it in the show for the game, because that was so impactful that you wouldn't have think Joel would have got hurt like that, and then he falls and gets stabbed right through like the gut, and then Ellie has to save his ass before he
They
dies.
also kind of messed with the tension of if Joel being alive or not, because in the game it just cuts right to Ellie hunting by herself, and you don't know if he's alive until she meets with David and Guy. I forgot his name. Because then when she gets that like stress in her voice, we're like, oh, you got medicine?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, Joel's alive. But in the show, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's cut to Ellie and Riley.
Actually, I will say that their adaptation of Left Behind was actually really cool.
It's pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Yeah.
Shout out to Best Buy,
Best
Victoria's
Buy,
Secret,
GameStop.
GameStop.
Yeah, yeah. What were they in? Like a Party City when they
Yeah, shout out
like,
to
Party
City.
found them? Yeah.
Also, only one infected. But
Yeah. Again, I like for
Bella Ramsey's
two-
performance when she found out she got bit was really good.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I kind of wish there was a chase scene, cause and how the game it's the tension and
Mhm.
but it's also the fact too that they put it right in the middle of it's not in the quarantine area, so it's like it's a place that they didn't fully check,
Mhm.
but it's in the quarantine area, so therefore there's not gonna be any infected really in there. So that's what kind of just downplayed it. Because in the game, I don't think, was it also in a quarantine area or was it out of the quarantine zone?
I think it was out of.
I think it was
quarantine.
still out of the quarantine area, but I think it was the same where like the fireflies
Didn't
knew
really
about
look
it.
at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, like
that's-
they knew about it, but didn't
They didn't
really
really
like.
bother.
Hey, that sounds
Yeah.
like a pain in the ass. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it's a big
Yeah,
mall,
it's a
bro.
lot of
I
work.
don't feel like working on that.
It's like, dude, you gotta check. Oh, I don't want to go. Oh, I don't want to do my job.
Yeah.
But no, I felt like if they had more infected to just chase them, because in the game it's like, oh, dude, because that they're gonna get infected, but it's the fact that there's so much of them coming after them. They're just kids,
Mhm.
and in the game it's just, I mean, the show is just one infected, and I don't know. I mean, like I said, that's just me.
Hey, well, I guess.
mean-
Any thoughts on the ending for the show?
Yeah, no, I was about to jump to that. I think they handled the hospital
Are we
scene.
not done with Left Behind?
Yeah, what else did you want to say about Left Behind?
I got a lot to say.
Oh,
All right.
Fire.
All right.
Go for it.
I don't know if any of you noticed, but the shot where when all the lights come on and Ellie is looking down down the full strip of the mall.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that's the lesbian flag?
There
If you-
was.
Yeah,
if-
I saw that TikTok.
The
Jared.
the lights, yeah, the lights go in kind of like the pink, orange, and like white colors.
Oh, I don't think I noticed
Bruh.
that at all. I just think I was looking at, just trying to notice all the stuff around.
Shit.
the lights.
Rainbow flag question mark.
Yeah.
Lesbian flag,
Come
the
on,
orange
Jared.
and pink. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually
I didn't
cool.
notice it all.
Yeah, like I said, we were just like, oh, GameStop, oh, Victoria's
Yeah, we were
Secret.
looking at all the fucking product placement in the background.
Oh, dude, there's a Target. No way. They had Target back then.
But I think they
Yeah.
did. I think they did Left Behind pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't change it much like Bill's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I think Left Behind already kind of paid like a lot of respect to it anyway. You know, like
yeah.
towards like the characters. You know?
I did kind of like, I understand why they left it out because like it's easy to imagine, but I do wish we would have seen the moment when what was her name?
Riley?
Riley.
Yep.
My bad. When she started to turn and
Mhm.
obviously Ellie didn't.
Yeah.
Because you know that Ellie had to kill her and that
Yeah.
Marlene
That would-
found them.
That would have been actually kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we saw that, because like, yeah, you saw Bill and Frank's story, but it's like, what about Riley? Like how she had the turning process. That would have been actually kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like I think it would have been cute even if they did it as in like a montage style of like showing them like sitting up through the night, like talking,
and then you
like
just
waiting
kinda see
it out
slowly
and
happen.
yeah.
Yeah, like how in Sam and Ellie, how he wanted her to stay up with him, so
Mhm.
he because he's gonna turn. He's like, oh, make sure I don't turn, or stay up with me.
That's why he faced the window because he wouldn't hear her.
Yeah, yeah, that was also sad. And now she was like, my blood can heal you. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, that was tough.
I'm getting back
Yeah.
to that. But yeah, no, that would actually been pretty depressing. I think that I would have also enjoyed that little moment that they probably would have had together.
Yeah, I would have loved like just like a montage style, like you couldn't hear what they were saying, but like some soft song
Sad
playing.
music.
Yeah, and like seeing it, like
Bruh.
it would have broken my heart.
Yeah, because they could have their whole episode together because it's about them.
Yeah.
It was Ellie's first love, basically.
Mhm.
And I also
And
like
her first kill.
Shit.
And I also like how
Do you see Dina in the background in Tommy's town?
I
Oh,
did,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
it's not even
Dina.
Tommy's town anymore. He's just kind of there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Dina was in the background.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they had the horse there too.
Yeah, Shimmer.
Shimmer.
Baby Shimmer.
Baby Shimmer. Yeah. I think it's cool. It seems like they're actually going into season 2 with a good plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Rip Callus, real one.
dude. I wanted Joel to be like, why'd you pick the name Callus? Because you didn't ask Tommy for the name. Callus.
But yeah, so let's skedaddle on to the ending. What'd you guys think of the hospital?
I think the
okay.
montage killing sequence was about as good as they
Amazing.
could have done. Yeah.
I feel like it added like a lot more gravitas to like because like how we keep making jokes about like gamer boys playing it. Well, like you're playing through the last level of The Last of Us, and you're like, oh yeah, this fucking rocks. Yeah,
Like,
go
that was
Joel.
probably-
Throws a brick at a nurse. Like, let's go. Fuck
That was
yeah.
that was probably
Yeah,
the most faithful scene to the game.
I think
Yeah.
The last episode.
I really
Yeah.
like how they added more of like a kind of like the music montage aspect of it, because I think
Yeah.
otherwise like it would have just been like kind of needless.
yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Had to have his cool action shots of him killing
Oh.
everyone.
In the game though, it was also kind of impactful without like, because they had the music in the background, but you can also hear Joel's like panic of him trying to get to Ellie. So you just hear him like huffing and like you hear the shakiness in his voice, like gotta get to her before they they do the surgery. So I mean, I kind of wish that they had some of that a little bit in the final of the show,
Yeah.
where you hear
I wish you could have
Pedro
heard him like
Pascal.
yelling Ellie, like yelling for her.
yeah. Or it's like have because it's an emotional part where it's like he doesn't want Ellie to go, he doesn't want Ellie to die.
Mhm.
So that's why it's like in the game he's panicking because he basically wants to save his daughter,
Yeah.
and he couldn't do it before, so he wants to do it this time for Ellie. So that's why it's like I feel like if they kind of had more emotion for Pedro to just be like getting to Ellie, killing all these guys, without just the whole montage part, I feel like that would have been more impactful for me. But that's, I don't know. It was still a good shot though.
I feel like he almost acts more like out of shock in the show, because like you can like with that scene with him and Marlene in the garage, like as he's like loading Ellie up, like he just like the blank expression on his face, and he's just like, you're just gonna come after her, and he just like domes Marlene.
Yeah.
It's like it was definitely different, but I still like really enjoyed it. And also
Yeah.
maybe it's because I have like like Marvel movie brain rot, but I really expected to see like a little Abby like in the corner watching her dad get shot or something. I really
Well,
thought we were gonna see that.
all they did was have the camera hold on Dad
Yeah.
on the ground for
Mhm.
a little bit longer
Yeah.
than usual.
Mhm. I'm actually kind of surprised that
also-
they didn't show him a little bit more, because like presumably
They didn't do it in the game either.
he wasn't shown in the first game either.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Because-
when the second game introduced and they were like, oh, remember the doctor? Like, no, I do not remember the doctor.
Neither did Joel.
Kill him again. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think Joel remembers that guy?
Oh,
Of course.
absolutely.
he did.
Also, can
Joel
we
didn't
talk about
shit the
how much
doctor.
BS that doctor is? Like, even if Joel didn't step in to save Ellie, he wouldn't have made a cure.
Sure,
Can we
absolutely.
talk about this?
Yeah, that's
I
the
wanna
theory.
talk
Yes.
about
Like,
this.
We see
Yes,
the
I have
Fireflies
strong
become-
opinions because in what was it, the second episode when they did like the flashback to one of
Yeah,
the
yeah. I think
second
it's the second episode. Yeah.
yeah, they did a flashback to like one of like the highest
like a
researcher
lab, yeah.
ladies, and
she's
she
"This
was
is,
like
bomb the place, bro.
yeah, she was like, we've studied
Bombed
for
them.
this. We
Air
know
strikes.
there's no cure.
Yeah.
Like, what makes you think the Fireflies, with limited research,
And you
will
already
find
see
a
throughout
cure?
the game and the show that they're fucking getting their ass beat.
Yeah, and they're fucking
Yeah.
incompetent, just like all around, you know.
Yeah.
And can I also say too is the fact that Joel probably wouldn't have gone on the rampage if he got to speak to Ellie. Maybe if Ellie even had a choice in this matter,
Yeah.
because regardless of the Fireflies,
they
regardless
didn't give her
of,
that choice.
regardless of the Fireflies, regardless of Joel, she never got that choice. She was
Yeah.
told,
Both of them didn't give her a choice.
yeah, she was either gonna die or and cure be for nothing, or she was gonna die and there was a cure. But
Mhm.
Joel didn't get that goodbye, if anything, and Ellie probably wouldn't have been like, well, I don't think I would want to die. But at the same time, too, if the Firefly's like, but you can save a lot of people, if you give it a chance, she probably would have said yes.
She probably would have.
Yeah.
Because
She's
she
also
had,
a kid.
Yeah, because she had also said, like, before that, she, like, didn't have any other reasons for living. Like, she's lost everybody along the way. She
Yeah,
doesn't have any family. She doesn't have any friends.
yeah. I mean,
Like, she had made it pretty clear that, like, she's okay if she doesn't make it.
yeah.
Also, for the record, like as viewers, we could be like, yeah, no, like of course the Fireflies would have just killed Ellie for nothing, right?
Yeah.
But like Joel does not give a fuck about that. I think that's important to state that like Ellie could like stub her toe in the forest and Joel would burn the whole fucking forest down. Like
Goddamn
all
tree.
he cared about was the fact that like because he made a selfish decision at the end of the day. Like
Yeah,
we
no, he
can
did.
logically try to like look at it and be like, yeah, the Fireflies wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. But like
And he's
Joel did not look at it like that.
He's
you know?
not. He's not a hero figure. He's not. He's a human, and that's humanity.
Oh yeah,
That's
no, I
his
think it's great.
daughter.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was great. Like Joel's decision, like it's one of like the most like infamous endings in like all of like video games, just because of like how like bone chilling that cut to black is, where he just says okay, and then it's
Yeah, but then people are
No.
mad that he finds out after he fucked around.
yeah, which is like
Oh,
whatever.
well.
That's a whole other thing. I know that we don't want to get into Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
We will
I
be here
really
for another
do, though.
hour, and then I will just continually keep ranting about that game. But like,
Yeah, we're at this point. It's like it's gonna be all of us, like you two against us two. We're gonna be like,
oh no, Amanda liked it for the most part,
you
right?
like this? Was it just?
I think it was a little
Oh.
long, but yeah.
It is longer than the
Oh, yeah,
first
it
game.
is,
Yeah, I think it was too long. Like, a lot of it was filler, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because they kept going back and forth.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
if
we
they
can't
had
talk
done
about
it more chronologically, I think it
Jared's
would have been
like,
better.
fucking- My fucking
Yeah.
veins
Jared
growing,
has
bro.
too many strong opinions.
Mostly about The Last of Us 2. Like, I don't have many like hot takes, like, but like, I do not like that game.
You should have seen this, Amanda. He kept going on about it for a while after the game was done and over with. Every
I
now and
know.
then he'd be like, "Look
We
at
played-
Neil
we played-
Cuckman's this tweet."
Neil Druckmann, fucking, he's an
we
asshole, dude.
we
Like,
played through it together. I sat through like, what is it, 18 hours of
Yep.
him doing
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Of like, oh, why the fuck are they doing that?
I don't think I really hated it until the end of the game. Like when we finished, and then I was just
Well,
kinda like,
when it was like part 2, I guess, of the game.
oh
you know?
well, yeah. I mean,
Like,
that's
the
where most of
second
the
half-
issues lie. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
you were like, what the fuck? I thought we just finished it.
because it's not. Okay, whatever. I'm not. No,
We gotta do this
Listen,
again.
We'll do this. How about this? We'll do this episode again. And
When
uh,
season
when
two
season
comes
two
out.
season 2
out,
comes out, and
yeah.
then it'll be like, hey, maybe they fixed a lot of the things I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they did.
They have to, honestly, because holy shit, everyone's gonna go up in arms about.
HBO has my trust.
No, I think
Yeah,
they should just
trust HBO.
I think they should just double down and not change it.
You think that?
That was
Just shit in
I-
everyone's mouth
I think it
that
would
everyone wants that to be changed.
Honestly, HBO has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever, too. If they just like buy the book, just do Last of Us Part 2,
Yeah.
18 episode series, 9 episodes are Ellie, 9 episodes are Abby. That'd
yeah,
be like,
and
oh man,
just a
it'd be
nice
funny. It'd be
fat, hot, steamy loaf right into the fucking gamer boy's mouth.
Do you think I'm an annoying gamer boy? I don't.
I'm talking about like r/The Last of Us 2,
Oh, well,
where they're
yeah.
still to this day
Yeah,
salty about the game, and it's been years,
yeah, and like
years,
harassing people, who
and
like
now they're
review it,
harassing
yeah.
the show.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because didn't Girlfriend's review get? Girlfriend reviews get.
No, that was
like,
Hogwarts Legacy.
Well,
But
no, but
before?
like
Yes.
yeah, for Last of Us 2, I thought they
Yes.
got like
Yes,
basically
death
doxed,
threats,
right?
doxed,
Yeah.
harassed, and then they happen to him again with Hogwarts.
Yeah, heaven forbid you actually like a game.
Yeah.
But so here's my personal opinion. After seeing, the first for the part 1 for, Last of Us show, what I'm thinking is because of how they portrayed Last of Us 2 for the game, what I'm thinking is that they're going to do a second season, but it's all going to be Abby and her growing up. And then we're going to probably, cut. Is this no? It's a
I don't know.
spoiler. Is it?
I think
If I,
I
talk
think-
about,
I think they would definitely do her in an episode like growing up.
but see,
like-
I think they need to, because she is a character and how they portrayed her kind of like harshly in the second one, because she
Yeah.
was always seen as the villain, but they also try to give her those characteristics of being like also human. And
yeah,
her,
but they did it too late. Like they
They
showed her as the
did.
villain, and then they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
actually, look at everything she did before
But
that."
when I say it, I'm an annoying gamer boy, right?
but well, see, because no,
I wasn't talking
We're
about
providing
you.
our points. Me and Nicole have our bulleted
I do
list.
have my bullet points. Me and
We're-
Josh have talked about this for hours. You gotta understand, like
Me and Jared are just going at it raw, and Nicole and Amanda are logic thinkers.
I like to
bullet
think I
points.
include logic in the way that
We
I
have
talk.
our organized thoughts.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're just
we're not
fucking
organized.
word
We're not
soup.
organized.
Word soup.
they need to bring Abby for a second season by herself, going through on her the people that she's with, her life growing up, so we can have an understanding of who the fuck Abby is. Because in the second game
They did say they wanted to make it multiple seasons.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
put out Abby as just like, here's a character. Look at this. Look at what she's doing. Look at all these people she's with. These are terrible people. But I just feel like, because they also try to give them human characteristics, and it's like, well, I would love to care, but at the same time, I don't care. So
Yeah. I feel like I would have cared more about her in the game if like they just reordered it a little bit.
a little bit,
Like
yeah.
some of the events like
Or maybe give out a DLC
Yeah.
before.
I've been saying it for 3
for-
years.
yeah.
Jared's over.
I've been saying this for 3 fucking years.
Jared's
dude.
over
Like,
here
But you
Like,
said
I
it
was
with
right.
anger, Jared. Me and
Yeah.
Amanda are talking
Yeah,
about it
Jared
in
just
the
sees
nicest
red
way
when he
possible.
talks about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. I do have a burning hatred for this game.
Nicole and Amanda are talking about it as reasonable people. Jared just wants rage.
Despite all my rage.
Bad on my rage.
Yeah, God, Smashing Pumpkins, that's another thing I see fucking around about.
That
What
is-
a shitty band, man.
I was debating very heavily if I was going to get you a Smashing Pumpkin CD for your birthday.
Well, okay.
It's not too late.
That is true.
Not
Or
too-
Venom.
Well,
Venom,
dude, Venom, but great movie. Great movie.
Okay, so we're talking about second season. Come on, guys, put in your thoughts.
Well, I feel like I'm not allowed to because we'll be here for another hour if I start going.
Yeah, Jared's
Well,
about to
I don't
fucking go
want
on a
to
rant.
have spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think
Yeah.
Or what would you like to not in spoiler way, but
Mm.
what would you like to kind of happen for the new new
Okay.
characters that are
I-
coming up?
Characters that die, they can die.
I still have to talk about that thing I saw. Okay, go ahead.
is it a Last of Us thing?
It's a spoiler though.
It's not a spoiler.
It is.
The way I'm gonna say it's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
So I saw it was 2 articles on Google, because I get these articles just recommended to me, and one of them was
We can cut this part out.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to cut this one.
Cut.
Okay, but no, I think the second season. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to give an exact wish list, but I think the second season has an opportunity to remedy a lot of the things that I didn't like about the game. Kind of like how Amanda just said about like reordering a lot of things. I think if they like switch the perspectives like a lot more instead of just doing like, hey, here's 10 hours of Ellie and then here's 10 hours of Abby, I think I would honestly like have liked the game a lot more.
If it
Yeah.
was back and forth.
Yeah, if it was more
Yeah.
back and forth, and then again, I'm not getting into spoiler territory. We can talk after this, but like, but yeah. So I think that's kind of like the big thing that I'm most excited for. And I mean, we actually didn't talk about it that much, but in the first season of The Last of Us, like they had it was really only 2 of like the flashbacks at the beginning of the episodes, and it's like those were my favorite things that like in the series. Like I think that's awesome. I would love to see more like flashbacks like that. Either seeing like as the outbreak happens and seeing like what like governments and like other like high ranking people are like doing about that. I think it'll be really cool to see more of that.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be kind of cool for like seeing how much would have changed within the years in the second season. for everyone and seeing like how much they've grown. But knowing how the second game is, it's probably just gonna be very depressing, and I'm probably gonna get a little bit annoyed. But at the same time, it's for Ellie. It'll be, for all her emotion and everything, it'll be reasonable. So.
Cool. Hey Josh, what do you want to see in the second season?
You know me. I'm very easy to please.
Same thing.
So
Come
they
you
could
know
just they could
me.
just do the same thing and I'd be fine with it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
I do want to see more of like the town. Like I want to see more of like life
Jackson.
in the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try and do that a little bit in the game where you walk through it.
Yeah,
You see that they
like
have
a little
schools now.
bit. But I want to see like more.
They have a lot. They
I
have
wanna
just
see
kids freely playing
the
around.
Last of Us, the Last of Us
Last of
humanity.
Us, bruh.
Come on, that's the whole point I've been
Yeah.
making this whole
You
You can see
episode.
more
You
of it
can
if it
see
was a
it.
good game.
All right. Well, anyways,
Okay.
Jared over here. So, I mean,
He's so
basically, they
salty.
show it in the game, the contrast between Jackson and the WLF, where
They
they're
actually
stationed
do.
in
Yeah.
like a,
Yeah.
they're stationed in like Seattle's football stadium, but they have schools too. They have livestock and a gym, food. They
Yeah, but I
clearly
wanna
don't have a
see-
food
I want to
shortage.
see more like day to day. I don't want to see just the overall. I want to see like some day to day stuff.
I want to see Abby playing with a dog.
Sure.
And then throwing that ball over that fence.
That was fun. So, do you guys want to start wrapping up?
Sure.
I mean, if there's nothing
We'll
else
wrap
that we
up.
need to rant
Yeah.
about, I think we're.
Yeah,
The Last
before
of Us ran-
Jared's eyes are glazed
I'm just
over.
listen. We are going to revisit this in let's say 2 or 3 years, whenever the next season comes out.
Yeah.
And then I will unleash. We'll make it like a double length episode. It'll be great.
Jared, we talk about as soon as you hit stop record, you're,
You're gonna
be like,
fucking
Like,
go
are
off
you
on
fucking
us.
kidding me? Yeah.
like I can't
I
fucking
will
believe you
be
guys.
hearing about this for the rest of the night.
It'll be fine. I mean, I guess. Long story short, I think we're all in agreement when I say Last of Us the game, good. Last of Us the TV show, also good.
Yeah,
I would say great.
I would say, yeah.
So
I
they're both
personally,
great, bruh.
I actually, I would argue that I do like the show better. I don't know how
I
you
do
guys
too,
feel.
actually. Yeah.
I like the game better.
That's fine.
That's just me. I'm a gamer.
Nicole, are
I'm
you
a
in
gamer.
Fuck. I'm in the middle because I like gaming, but I also like watching some good television, and that was some good television.
Okay.
Thank you, Ghost.
You got your little shaka bra going on
Yeah,
there.
he's pretty chill like that.
Chilling. So, all right, yeah. I guess before we wrap up, it's been a while, but we haven't done pick of the week in a hot second.
Oh shit.
Let's go.
Yo, so
Pick of the
I'll go last. Babe, you want to kick us off? What you got for pick of the week?
I've been playing a new game called Witchwood,
Ooh.
and it has been my jam because you play as a cute little witch in a cute little forest. You get
I
your
feel like
little
I've seen that.
ingredients.
It's on Steam.
It is.
It's on everything and it's on sale
Oh,
all
okay.
the time, so I highly recommend.
Sounds like something
um,
you'd be into, Nicole.
I would
yeah.
be. I just
It's
have to-
very cute. It's like kind of cozy game.
Yeah, but I'm like Josh. Like I have to finish all these games I have, so I'll buy
Yeah,
it
Bad, bro.
eventually.
That's
So
one of the
bad.
games that was in my I need to finish. So instead of buying a new game, I actually started playing this one.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
All right, who's next? Josh or you? Me?
I figured we were just gonna go around the table.
Nicole?
Yeah, Nicole, you
In
go.
a circle, more like in a square.
God, don't give out our layout.
All right, my pick of the week is Fatal Frame, the Lunar Mask, I think it's called. Yeah, it came out pretty recent. I'm a big fan of Fatal Frame, and it's actually pretty scary. It came out on Steam, and I don't think there's a physical version. It's only digital, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm playing it on Steam, and damn, it's scary.
Is that like the one where you gotta like take pictures, right? Is that
Yeah,
like
the Fatal Frame. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
In this one though, it's so it's about these girls that are going back into like this I forgot what it's fucking called. It's like a giant building where they do rituals for masks and whatnot, and there's this condition that these people get where the moon like kind of eclipses their minds and they lose themselves slowly. So it's like it's a whole thing about that, but I don't want to get too much into it. It's a very fun game though, and if you like scary games, I highly recommend it.
Sounds rad. What you got, Josh?
All right, so my pick of the week is actually in the future. So
Oh,
next week, Nicole and I are gonna go see
Oh yeah.
Spirited Away, the stage play. Yeah, so
Oh.
it's the first time it's playing in America.
Where?
In the movie theaters. Yeah.
Huh.
Which one?
So it's kind of like watching a Broadway show on the big screen.
Yeah.
So it's the first time it's airing in America, and it's just like the Spirited Away movie as a stage play, and it looks really cool.
Is there 2 more seats available?
Yeah, I know, that's what I was trying to ask.
They added more movie dates, and we can check out
Pulling
if
up
there's still
Cinemark
seats.
as we
Yeah,
speak.
because when I went to go get tickets for us, it was already kind of full because it's
Oh, okay.
yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds rad. I think we might
version
tag
of
along.
Spirited Away we've never seen before.
That's awesome.
Just be wary that if you want
It's
to
gonna be
go see
dubbed.
anything Japanese
subbed.
at the movie theaters, they don't play trailers before it starts, so be there early.
Oh, okay. All right,
It's just gonna start,
okay.
but that'll be fun.
Cool.
I've
Yeah,
never seen a Japanese stage play. I mean, we've obviously seen like Broadway and shit,
Yeah.
but it's basically like that.
Is it?
That's dope.
Are there going to be more? Or is it just Spirited Away?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. Because
The Spirited Away one's never been played in America before,
yeah,
but they added more dates too.
Okay.
Before there was only 2 days only, but they added 2 more.
I think it's because it got sold out pretty fast. They're like,
Probably.
oh, people are interested.
Yeah,
Wow.
limited time thing, really cool experience.
That sounds rad. I think we might try to tag along.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we can
let's
look
open
at the seats and stuff, see if anything's available.
Yeah, because for me and Josh, we were just like, yeah, we could try it out. We didn't think.
Because I forgot about it for like a couple weeks because
Yeah.
they played a trailer for it like months ago
Oh,
because it's
okay.
part of like the you know how our movie theater does like whole Ghibli movies.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
part of it. So it was in that like sizzle reel of all the movies they're playing. And when I remembered it like a couple weeks later, it was already almost full.
Damn. Okay.
Because there's 2 separate showings of the thing,
Mhm.
and there's different actresses for each one. But I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, it'd be cool
so
to
I don't
see,
know if
regardless.
one's better than the other.
Okay.
I just went for the first one.
Yeah.
The seats directly in front of the screen are still available. And
Woohoo!
Oh, damn. Okay.
For all of them?
that's it. I'm checking the 3 closest movie theaters, and that's what it's
Damn.
looking like.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys like to crick
Yeah.
up your neck a little bit.
I've only done that once, and I don't intend on
Bad
doing it.
experience.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
bad
That's why
experience.
I feel like I didn't watch Deadpool the first time because I was like,
Yeah, no.
Oh, did they have the recliners back then in Deadpool, or was it just the?
No.
no,
it was the shitty seats.
I think we were still in high school. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a different experience. I don't know.
What you got, Jerry?
There's still
Oh,
some on
mine-
Tuesday.
Mine is.
Thank you, Ghost.
There's some available for Tuesday
Oh,
at
okay.
7:15.
Hmm.
7:15.
I am so this thing I think pretty much everybody in this room is excited about, and I know Amanda is avoiding spoilers, so I'm not going to get too in detail.
Oh boy.
But yeah,
Tears of the
the
Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom trailer dropped. Oh my god, that is going to be game of the year. It looks so fucking cool.
Do the ghosts have anything to say?
Positive reviews from the Ghost so far.
Yep.
But you know, I keep seeing all these tweets where it's like I'm not spoiling any story details. I will say that the story looks sick.
I don't
from
want
what they showed
story spoilers or mechanic spoilers.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
want
okay.
Any
I'm
spoilers.
staying away from it. I'm staying away from that.
anything.
I
So
will say
you
that.
told me the other day that there's new music, and I lost my mind.
Well, of course there's gonna be new music. What kind of question is
It's
this?
so good.
Dude,
No, Amanda,
I don't
bruh.
want any
Holy the mic.
spoilers.
It's
though.
so
Okay.
good.
All right, fine.
Nothing.
I'm not going to.
So freaking.
But
good.
I will say,
so
I keep seeing
freaking
all these
good.
tweets where it's like headphones aren't enough. I need the song in my ass, and it's the new theme. It's like I was actually listening to it the second you left today earlier. I put it on my phone, and I was like,
Fucking
it just
jamming.
slaps, dude. I'm like,
Do they have a
'cause,
full
like,
version out or?
if you look, no, it's like the minute and a half one. It's like a fan edit on YouTube, but like there's like the pause and then it hits into that saxophone near the end of the trailer. And I'm like, oh my god! It's like,
There's a damn saxophone in it.
oh,
Do you
man,
know? Do you know
it
voice
hits.
actors, Amanda? Do you know voice actors at all?
Which like
She did, I
which
don't-
voice actors?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
if
don't
I-
spoil it though.
No,
She-
it's
she-
just a vo- Do you care about
Dude,
voice actors?
she
being
heard
spoiled?
5 seconds of the song and told me to turn it off.
All
She
right.
doesn't want to know the
All right,
voice
never
actor.
mind.
Okay.
It's all good.
But yeah, I like the voice actor that they announced. Okay,
Yeah.
that specific voice actor.
I heard it immediately.
Yeah, and I was like, is that fucking
Is that guy?
redacted? Is that guy? So, yeah.
That's fun.
So he's a very popular one.
Very,
Yes.
Very
but
famous.
it's not one of the ones that any of us in this room have met before, as far as I'm aware.
Is,
What do you mean, Matt?
Well, like we've all met like a handful of voice actors.
Yeah, I've met.
Well, I mean, most of us have. Like you met Troy Baker, right?
I met Troy Baker and Nolan North.
I met
Oh,
Johnny
really?
Bosch.
Is it Nolan?
Bosch.
Nolan
Oh,
North?
yeah, Johnny Young Bosch was great.
Yeah, Young Bosch.
Johnny Bosch,
Steve Bloom was great.
Steve Bloom.
Cool
Okay.
guy.
So those are the
We're
biggest
just
ones that I
flexing on
know.
you.
So-
Dude, is Link after everything gonna say this was really gonna bring Tears to the Kingdom?
Yeah, he's gonna look right into the camera.
Yeah, but Tears of the Kingdom looks sick. Very excited for that.
Was that next month?
Well, I think so.
May.
Yeah.
It's mid-May. I think.
Yeah, it's next month.
Jared, because it's open world. Is that spoiler?
No, I mean, not really.
All right. Okay, because it's an open world type game, are you gonna 100% it?
No, absolutely not.
Let me
I will-
tell you
I will
something
do some side
about-
quests. I'll play the main
Yeah,
story.
Jared,
and I'll
but
be
you put
like,
in
this
more
is
than
great.
30 hours.
Yeah,
You
it's
put
like,
in-
I
he
put
put
in a
in-
fucking work week into that.
You
into
put
that game.
30 hours into the Breath of the Wild. I put 170.
Then good for you.
There's so
I got like 300.
You might as well
Thorax
turn off
seeds,
your
like-
hours on your Switch, bro.
Yeah, can you do that?
You
Yes.
can.
Good, I'll do that from now on. It's like, it's like no, I fucking hate this because I remember we had this argument with someone else who's been redacted from our friend group since then, and it's like, bro, it's like he was like, bro, you didn't even play Doom. You only played Doom for 10 hours, and I was like, that's how long the fucking game is.
You did 100%.
Who expected Doom to be longer than 10 hours?
Kevin,
Kevin.
of course, and I'm like, dude, like it's a fucking like 8-hour game, and I played like the first like I replayed a few levels. That's it.
All right, we gotta leave before Jared fucking pops a
Can I have a
vein.
conniption?
Hey, Ghost, you have anything to say?
He's
All right, everyone, have a good night.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Thanks, guys.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, we back, bitches.
No more 2-month break.
It was only 1 month.
BS crew? Yeah, because it stinks.
Oh, no.